Hi YouTube, I'm coming to you today with my IKEA IVAR hack. Behind me is my IVAR shelving that I'm building in my workshop. The problem with this IVAR shelving is that this is an 8-foot wall, and IVAR does not come in sizes that will fit an 8-foot wall nicely. So these IVAR shelves are 80 centimeters. This IVAR shelf has to be 70 centimeters. So I'm going to show you how to hack IVAR to make it the size that you want. And also I want to caution you about IVAR shelves. These shelves are big and wide, and what happens is when you bring them home to your house from IKEA, they warp a lot. I bought about 20 IVAR shelves, and I've taken about 12 of them back. So, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, off to go do the hack. Okay, so we're back outside on a beautiful February day up in Canada. And it is a beautiful day out. Nice and warm for February. But here we have two IVAR shelves. These are the big IVAR shelves, the big 80 centimeter ones. But I brought these home yesterday. And if you look along the IVAR shelves, you can see that one of them is clearly warped. This one is clearly warped, and it's getting worse every day. So bring them home, stick them in your house. Let them acclimatize, and then you will see which ones that you have to take back and which ones that you don't. All right, on to the hack. Okay, so the first step in the hack is to get this little plastic piece out of your IVAR shelf, and it's stuck in there pretty good. So what you want to do is you want to get a thin knife or something and stick it underneath here and start prying up. Just pry up very gently to get it started on both sides. And then once you start prying it up a bit, get a big ass screwdriver in there and then start prying it some more. And you will notice that underneath here there are some places where there is a little bit of a gap in the shelf, and if you can get your screwdriver into that little hole in there, see the little hole that's left in here, get your screwdriver in there and you can start prying up, and the holes become fairly frequent, and you just keep prying that little piece of plastic up very gently so you don't break it. And eventually, voila, a piece of plastic comes out. So we're going to put that aside and go on to the next step, the cutting. Okay, so here's my handy dandy skill saw. With this hack, what you want to do is you want to set the depth of this here from your fence to your blade to the depth that you need for the width of the shelf that you're going to make. So you can virtually make any size of shelf that you want in IVAR now. The key is to make sure that you just don't do it too tight, just give you a little bit of tolerance. So I'm going to make mine an 80 centimeter shelf under a 70 centimeter shelf, and I'm going to knock off 10 centimeters. Okay, so I've set my fence at the right angle, at the right distance, and we're going to cut the end that we've taken the piece of plastic out of off our IVAR shelf. There you have it, a 70 centimeter IVAR shelf. Now, on to the next step, which is going to be the most important one. Okay, so we're over here on my handy dandy workmate. If you don't have one of these workmates, you got to go get yourself one, because it's the best tool ever invented. The problem is now is that we have an IVAR shelf here, and then we have this end of the IVAR shelf that has not got any slot in it. I'm just going to turn this whole thing around, see if I can't get some better lighting for everybody. So, we have a slot in this one and no slot in this one. So how do we get the slot over here so we can put that plastic part back in there? Well, we're going to use this, my handy dandy router. And what you want to do is you want to get yourself a 1/8 inch slot cutting bit. And you can generally pick these things up for about 20 bucks at any really good hardware store like Busy Bee or Lee Valley or any of those ones. Those are up in Canada. I don't know what you got in the States. And then you want to set the slot cutting bit to the right depth. So how do you get the right depth? It's fairly simple. You take your piece of wood that you cut off your IVAR shelf, you stick it by your router, and that's how you measure the depth of the slot that you need cut, because it fits right into the slot. All right, so next step is to actually cut the slot on the shelf. Okay, so here we are, safety first, right? Goggles, and we're going to cut the slot on the IVAR shelf. This is really messy. Be prepared for this. So, now we have the slot on the IVAR shelf all nicely cut. You can see that we have our slot cut into it here. And the next step is to take our plastic piece and put it back in the slot. And make sure that you get the plastic piece the right way according to this one. So this one has to go this way. And it's fairly simple to do. Once you have the slot cut, just take your IVAR shelf piece here, stick this thing in, make sure it's centered before you do that. Get it nice and center. And you're just going to push it in. 170 centimeter IVAR shelf. So now we're just going to take this thing down and we're going to install it in our IVAR shelf system. So here we are back in my workshop, and here is my 70 centimeter IVAR shelf. And I'm not going to show you how to install IVAR because that's fairly simple. You put the pins in and then you lock it down. And you have a a 70 centimeter IVAR shelf system now, which is exactly the size that you want. All right. Anyway, that's it for my IKEA hack. I hope you liked it. It's not that hard to do. If you have the tools to do it, go and hack some more IKEA. Thanks. Bye.